I live on St Luke's Road.
Right, okay.
I have two
Is that where the mosque
children
is?
Yes.
Right.
I have two grown-up children. My youngest son came with me to the vigil last night on Lord Street. As we were walking back, my daughter rang me and said, Mum, are you on your way home? So I said, yeah, I'm on my way home. What's the problem? She said, there's some kind of a protest going on. We were 5 minutes walk away from my house. As we walked up to our house, there were gangs and gangs, and I'm literally, I don't want to be stereotypical, of young men, all young men, pulling up down our street in cars. I went round to the local store, and I said to them, there's something going on. All the neighbours were saying, what's happening? This was not a peaceful protest, Nick. And my children
How many of the people did you recognise?
None of them. It was cars and cars. They were all on phones. It was organised. I then, rather stupidly on my part, went down to see what was going on. I was in the middle of it. There were bricks going over my head. There was a police officer, a lady police officer, with blood running down her face with riot shield in front of me. And I just said, what? And she kept her composure. And this guy next to me said, oh, she doesn't get paid enough anyway. And I just said to her, I'll never forget you. I'll never forget you. They stopped the police coming in. It was all organised. It was nothing to do with those little girls.
How many, roughly speaking, how many people did you think were taking part in the anti-police demo?
They were all there by... I can't think of the time now, maybe about 8:30.
But
it wasn't a march.
Would it be
It wasn't
20?
a protest. It was gangs and gangs of people in cars jumping out.
Sarah, how many people would you say were there? 40, 50, 60, 70?
Oh, more than that. I'd say more than that.
Did you recognise anybody?
No. They were not from Southport.
Without using any foul language, were they chanting anything, saying anything? What were they doing?
It was all about vengeance. And I'm sorry, but, like it or not, that mosque at the end of our road is part of our community. And it was a targeted hit on that mosque. It was nothing to do with those little girls. And now, thankfully, I've walked to work this morning, and there are people in our community with brushes cleaning up that street from last night. And after the paramedics and the police helped so much yesterday, to then attack them it's just too close to home. It really is.
Until these events, how close a community was Southport? Were there issues with people of different faiths?
Not really. I wouldn't consider it. These people weren't from... We have... if you think about the road leading up to the mosque, it's literally 2 minutes walk from my house.
Right.
They're lovely people.
Right.
But this was not... if you say a protest, it wasn't a protest. It was an organised hit. And our community is cleaning up this morning, and I just find it absolutely horrific.
Was the Prime Minister right to visit yesterday?
I think yes.
What do you make of people...
To show solidarity. I mean, to show solidarity and show that he cares, yes. But I don't think this was to do with the Prime Minister visiting. This was just an excuse to go and target people. And it was nothing to do with those little girls, because on Lord Street last night, the people of Southport were there celebrating their lives, and trying to give comfort to one another.
Yes.
And this was nothing to do with it.
Do you know any of the families involved?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Have you been able to speak to them?
Not, it's a community thing. People that know people, and we know that, people know the children who've died and things like that. So it's a community. Yeah, it is. It is.
Lastly, if the 17-year-old who's held in custody is the right man, the perpetrator, the man who did this, what are your feelings towards him?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, he's not been identified yet. And I'd be more worried about the 17-year-old boys in their masses that were walking down my street last night going to attack a mosque. And that's more, whatever's happened, if he's in custody now, the police can deal with him. But they were, the same age boys, so what excuse it's mass carnage. That it really is.